See, this is me, Boba Fett.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chiss Ascendancy. This is Josiah, and we are on day 16 of 30 days of Boba Fett. I can't believe we've made it this far, and I can't believe that I'm still thinking of things to talk about. But obviously, you guys know I'm a huge Boba Fett fan, and so today I want to talk to you about Boba Fett's sweetest revenge. We know that going into the book of Boba Fett, Robert Rodriguez has said that it's going to be a all-killer, no-thriller show. And the rumor is that Boba Fett finds himself going on a quote-unquote revenge tour. And so we know that there's lots of stuff that could pop up. I think him going on a revenge tour, either righting what he thinks are wrongs against him or just teaming up with old friends, leads to some of those past bounty hunter friends maybe showing up, the Bosks and Cad Banes and Dengars and those guys. But in Legends, there was a moment of very, very sweet revenge that took place about 30 years after the conclusion of the original trilogy. You have to remember when, before Lucasfilm took over, there were only 6 Star Wars movies. I know that there's, 7, 8, and 9, Rogue One, Solo, all those things now. But for a while, it was very compacted and very, episodes 4, 5, and 6, going back episodes 1, 2, and 3. And just those 6 movies, everything in Star Wars was kind of contained. And then you have books and things. But for the most part, those 6 movies were the timeline. So 30 years after the original trilogy concluded, there was a time of secondary galactic civil war. And the main focus behind this was that the planet of Corellia and also the planet of Bothui and some other planets did not agree with the way that the Galactic Alliance was being run, and so they began to separate. And so we saw a new war between the Galactic Alliance, which is AKA the New Republic. You have the New Republic, and then after the Yuuzhan Vong War and all that long 19-book long New Jedi Order series, all that broke off, and we were forced to rebuild, and that's where the Galactic Alliance came about. And because of that, there was still tension, and people were trying to find their footing. And so anyways, during this Galactic Civil War, there is a character in Legends named Jacen Solo. Now, Han and Leia married, and they had 3 kids. They had twins who were Jacen and Jaina, and they had a younger son named Anakin. And at this point in the story, Anakin is no longer alive, but Jacen and Jaina are still there, and they're both Jedi, and they're both very, very powerful and a big part of the Jedi Order. Of course, Luke Skywalker, their uncle, is still the Grand Master at this point. There's a moment where Jacen, after the Yuuzhan Vong War, turns to the dark side, and he assumes the identity of Darth Caedus. And his idea is very, very similar to Anakin Skywalker, his grandfather, aka Darth Vader. He truly believes, and this is probably what makes him such a great villain, he truly believes that to follow the path of the dark side is the only way to bring peace. He's seeking peace. He's seeking security for his friends and his family. And he's had these visions that the only way to do that is to join the dark side. And so we're not really 100% sure just yet what called Kylo, Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, to the dark side. I know that he was manipulated by Palpatine and Snoke, but there's never a moment where he's like, I have to choose the dark to save the galaxy. We don't really know that for sure. But Jacen chooses the dark side because he feels like it's the right thing to do. And I know that's hard to comprehend. But part of his fall is there is a young woman named Aelin Haber. And Aelin Haber is the daughter of Boba Fett. And unbeknownst to Jacen Solo, he's interrogating her, and his interrogation is so intense that he kills Aelin Haber. So obviously, this is a huge mistake. Why would you ever harm anyone related to Boba Fett? Why would you harm anyone related to the ruler of Mandalore? Like we talked about a few days ago, he was the ruler of Mandalore at this time. So at any moment, Boba Fett could go, all right, guys, we got to take this guy out. And a whole army of Mandalorian super commandos can descend on Coruscant and try to take out Jacen Solo. But Boba Fett decides to do one thing better. As the series, The Legacy of the Force, progresses, it's cool because the series is written by a trio of authors. You have Aaron Alston, Karen Traviss, and Troy Denning. Now, Aaron Alston has passed away since the release of this series, so we mourn that loss. He was an amazing author, an amazing contributor to the Star Wars universe. But as the series progresses, even the Jedi and other people within the Galactic Alliance are realizing Jason Solo is not the Jason Solo we grew up with. Jason Solo, there's something different about him. He's ruling through fear, similar to what we've heard in all these Book of Boba Fett trailers. So there's a moment where the Jedi Order is now on the run from Jason. As Jason ascends the ranks of the political ladder, he still uses the Force, but he starts to wear all black, and he kind of begins to sever his ties with the Jedi, and his identity is within the Galactic Alliance. So the Jedi know, and even the Solos, Han and Leia and Jaina, they realize that Jason has to be stopped, and what are they going to do? And so Boba Fett decides he will train Jaina Solo to kill her brother Jason Solo. So instead of his daughter being killed, instead of going after Han, instead of going after Leia, instead of going after Jason himself, he realizes Han Solo and his wife have been a pain and a thorn in my side for years and years and years. Obviously Han Solo is the reason he fell into the Sarlacc and all of these things. And they've had moments where they've worked together for short periods of time, when desperate times call for it. But ultimately, he realizes the ultimate revenge is not to go and kill Han Solo, because Jason Solo, he's already distanced himself from them. He's already cut himself off from his family and his friends in the Jedi Order. The ultimate revenge is to hurt Han Solo where it would cost him the most, which is to kill the son, Jason Solo. But even greater than that, training the daughter, Jaina Solo, also known as the Sword of the Jedi, to defeat her own brother. So they've already lost a son during the Yuuzhan Vong War. Now they have a son who's fallen to the dark side, and their daughter's the only one who's really sticking around, the only one that has her head on straight. And imagine the damage that it'll do to this family if he trains and helps Jaina defeat this evil man. And here's the thing, it's the right thing to do. That's the crazy part, is you can't be mad at Boba, because Jason's over here taking over the galaxy. He's over here really walking in the footsteps of his grandfather, and he has to be stopped. So it makes sense. It's not just a brainwashing that takes place of Jaina. It's a moment where he teaches her, and that's the ultimate revenge. It's not when you get back to at someone one-on-one. It's not when you get back at somebody and it's just, a slap in the face back. It's, yes, I'm going to get my revenge on Jason, but it's going to take a toll on Han. It's going to take a toll on Leia. It's going to take a toll on Jaina. And that's the sweetest revenge that Boba Fett could receive in repayment for the death of his daughter, Aelin Haber. So if you've never read the Legacy of the Force series, that whole story is in there. It's 9 books long. It's fantastic. And if you're more of a listener, they're all available on Audible. So I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit. It's a little bit on the darker side, but we've got 30 days. We're going to unpack every aspect of Boba Fett's personality. But the sweetest revenge is not to get back at the man, but it's to get back at him through a loved one, through his sister, which also takes care of, getting back Han and Leia for all the times that they've been a pain. So there you have it. There is day 16 of 30 Days of Boba Fett, the sweetest revenge that you can accomplish. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching on YouTube, please consider liking this video, subscribing, turning on notifications so that you get notified whenever new videos come out. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and I hope you have an amazing day, and may the Force be with you.